Hello everyone, and welcome back to B Movies Presents Cinema of Steel.
Every day, we have been looking at a different theatrically released Superman feature film.
That's right, and today we're finally up to Superman the movie from director Richard Donner. You will believe a man can fly. That's what they told us, and although the visual effects may seem a little under par today, audiences were convinced in 1978 when director Richard Donner brought Superman to the big screen in the classy action epic that told the hero's iconic origin in the first half and squared him off against the supervillain Lex Luthor in the second. With a sweeping scope and an iconic performance from Christopher Reeve, Superman the movie was an enormous hit for Warner Brothers, becoming the most successful film in the history of the studio and setting a new high watermark for superhero cinema. Whitney, what'd you think?
I think it's the best superhero movie ever made. I love the sense of scale it has. John Williams' score makes it feel large. The effects are huge. Christopher Reeve is friendly and great and wonderful as this great Boy Scout character. If I have anything to complain about, it's Lois Lane, once again. She's kind of an obnoxious character and largely unnecessary. Also, the turning back time plot conceit is pretty stupid. But overall, I will forgive it because the film is just enormous.
It's enormously uneven. A lot of people love this movie. I like this movie, but I don't think it's perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I will say, Christopher Reeve is an absolutely amazing Superman. There's no argument about that. John Williams' score is absolutely fantastic, and the first half of the movie, where they set up Superman and they tell his wonderfully Americana origin story, all of that, just about perfect. Unfortunately, there's a second half to the movie, and Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor is kind of a crap Lex Luthor. He's obsessed with land. Who gives a crap? He has terrible sidekicks. Ned Beatty is nearly the death of this movie. Once he shows up, I just completely tune out. And yeah, the ending is really, really stupid.
In a lot of ways, this was the first superhero movie, and Richard Donner thought to give it such a large approach that I think he was successful. He managed to make it into something mythic, rather than just a story about Superman, which is what we've had previously in the serials.
Look, I appreciate that, but the thing is, a lot of people look at this movie as if it is completely unassailable, and it's not. It's got a lot of problems. Superman spends most of this movie, rescuing cats from trees, lifting things, and that's it. And at no point does Lex Luthor ever really pose him any sort of challenge or threat. And that drives me nuts, and I just think Lex Luthor deserves better as a villain. Anyway, where do you want to rank this sucker? Highly, no doubt.
Well, I definitely rank this at number 1. This is definitely the best Superman we've had so far. I predict it will be the best Superman we'll have altogether.
And there's a lot of stuff to like here, but it's so inconsistent that I ultimately have to consider the Max Fleischer cartoons still a little better overall. And I'd even say because the first half is so good and the second half is so crappy, it's a lot like the Superman serials. But because it's a lot bigger, because it's a lot more epic, I'll put it slightly above those. That's it for Cinema of Steel, Superman the movie. Come back tomorrow when we're going to be looking at Superman 2.
Kneel before Zod!
No.